Hey, how's it
Hey,
going? You got some dancing going on.
yeah, I was head bopping to the music there. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, welcome. And anybody who's in the stream so far, you can tell we have an awesome guest. Farmer's Son Prepping is here, and it looks like there's a whole bunch of folks in chat. We've got Ark Wildman Survival. Good to see you. Sassy Gal Prepping. Hello. Prepping by Faith is here, as well as Winter Homestead. I saw a video out by you. I gotta check it out. And yeah,
Hey,
thank you
prepping
so
my
much.
face. How are
Yeah,
you?
yeah. So welcome, welcome to anybody who's in the chat. Thank you to the mods for being here. And then, of course, without further ado, this is Farmer Son Prepping, and thank you for taking the time.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, it's an honor just to be able to get an invite. So I appreciate it. Uh, Thank you.
Yeah, great. So I was wondering, just in case there's anyone who hasn't seen your channel, maybe someone up in Canada. I know you have Canadian friends, but can you
Cool.
please introduce yourself for anyone who may not know you and tell us a little bit about your channel?
Okay. Um, my name is Farmer Son Prepping, or FSP for short. I've shortened it down. But I live in East Central Alabama, about a couple hours from the coast. Uh, just basically a preparedness channel. I'm a I have I'm visually impaired. Okay, so I can't do everything I want like to do. Otherwise, I'd be at work and stuff. But just a preparedness channel. We have a pretty good community. People that I see every week. So uh, just grew up on a farm here where my dad lives, and he's in his late 70s, and so I'm helping to help take care of him and make sure he don't cut his arm off with a chainsaw or something crazy, because he's still going. There's no slowing him down. But just prepping and doing the things we can do to give our chance, to give us a better chance of survival. I mean, that's about it.
Awesome. Very cool. Hey, True American Loretta, good to see you. Thanks for popping in. So, you mentioned that you're in Alabama, and you were telling me backstage that you get about 3 to 4 inches of rain a week right now.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit of an overview of what the climate's like there, especially for people like me who are in such a different area?
Sure, sure. Yeah, this is our wet season right now, wintertime. It's also our severe storm season. And so we get a lot of rain this time of year. Typically after May, the rain, we get some every now and then, but nowhere near as much as we are right now. We have like 8 month long summers, so 8 month long growing periods. And so after May, typically everything around here turns into a dust bowl, unless we just have an incredibly wet summer, which is known to happen. But
Mm-hmm.
it's pretty dry around here in the summertime. So uh, just a long, hot, deep south, very hot temperatures. Uh, 80s at night, at 80s Fahrenheit at night, and like 190s in the daytime. Where right now we were up to 70 degrees Fahrenheit here today. I know, in February. I know, crazy, but and we'll probably have a low tonight of like 40 Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm.
So So
Wow.
those
What is
things,
it
but
like being somewhere that can have tornadoes? I've never lived somewhere like that. Is it always in the back of your mind or
yes, my family's actually been. We've actually had. Our family's been hit before. Uh, I wasn't living here where I'm at on the farm at the time, but my family, my dad, my sister, and all my family that lived here at the time, they all went through a F4 tornado in on April 27th, 2011. They all lost their homes and almost lost their lives. So we've experienced that. Yes, it's always in the back of our mind. Absolutely.
wow, that's incredible. That's really scary stuff. Hey, my
Yes.
mother's Spark and Marco. Coffee First, good to see you. I just saw Coffee First over in Hudson Valley Prepping Survival stream. Penny Pinching is here as well as X24 Reviews. Good to see you all. And so, but you did have a little experience up in Alaska, right? So you know what cold is like as well.
Oh yes, yes. I lived for 2 years in Alaska when I was like 7 to 9. You know, I was a small kid, didn't have much choice in the matter. So I got drugged to Alaska, lived there for 2 years, went to school there in Anchorage. So I know what dark winter means. I know
Yeah,
exactly what that means, and I know what 40 below means.
yeah,
Layers, layers, and more layers. Yeah.
yeah. When you remember it, does it strike you more the darkness in the winter all the time or the coldness is either stick out more or are they both a big memory?
The darkness, definitely
Yeah,
the darkness sticks out
yeah,
more to me. Yes.
yeah,
And we had a lot of earthquakes back then. This was in the
yeah.
late 70s. We had a lot of earthquakes. I mean, it could be Thursday. Oh,
Hmm.
there's our Thursday earthquake, whatever. It was like,
Hmm.
so I do remember that. And I do remember the darkness, having to get on the bus in the dark and everything.
Hmm.
So, yeah, kind of depressing up there in the wintertime, big time.
Yes, yeah, exactly. It's like that where we are a bit as well. Jean is here. Good to see you, Jean. Um,
Hey,
we haven't been live in a while, and I'm excited about this. I'm also excited to have FSP on tonight. And Jean is saying, "Wow, F4, serious tornado. Do you have underground shelter?"
we do. My after my family went through what they went through, my dad FEMA put a shelter in at Dad's house. He's got one of those that you have to go outside to get in it. The door up on top. So he's got underground shelter. My sister has a safe room built into her basement. They built when they rebuilt their house. They built a safe room in the basement. So
Hmm.
and it's like 4 feet thick walls. I mean, and it's 12 feet underground, so pretty good.
Wow. It's amazing. And I only know about that stuff from movies that are probably not the movies are probably not accurate, but never lived in that area. Though, it says, "Yep, that's me." It says Northern BC has had tornadoes, but they're just rare. Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. And if anyone happens to not already be subscribed to Farmer's Son Prepping, the link has been dropped by the awesome mods who have showed up. So it's also below the just in the description box. So I definitely invite you to join his channel. He has lots of great material on there, as well as lots of live streams where if you like interacting with the preparedness community, it's a good place to hang out.
Just give me a watch. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm sure I'm not, but I just ask people to watch the videos. If they don't like it, they can go, and if they like it, hang around, have some fun with us.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a fun place to hang out. So it sounds like preparedness is a way of life for you with farming. Have you always been this way into preparedness? What background led you to this?
I grew up living the preparedness lifestyle,
Hmm.
cutting wood for the heater 'cause back then, because I'm older. I'm in my 50s, so okay. Back then, you cut wood on the summer to burn it all winter. We had wood burning stove and all that, and so yeah, grew up this way. but I really did not kick it up as far as the prepping goes. I really didn't kick it up until Hurricane Katrina. Uh, and my church belongs to we're a Baptist church.
Mhm.
We are affiliated with the Southern Baptist Disaster Relief Teams. I
Mm.
was on the ground in Katrina, and after seeing the devastation and after seeing the government know zero, they didn't know what to do. Uh, that kind of was very alarming, and that really set me on my road to prepping the way I do now.
Hmm. Yeah, it sounds like that would be a very big driver to preparedness.
Yes.
So, what sort of things have you guys been involved with for farming?
Uh, Basically, since Dad has retired, we're not farming nowhere near as much as we did. We still have about a 4 or 5 acre family garden that we plant every year. He plants it. He's the farming expert. Don't get in his way. He's farming. Let him go. Uh, but he plants us a garden every year, so we have like a 3 or 4 acre garden here for
Wow.
him and his wife and my family and my sister and everybody else, kind of everybody that lives here. Uh, we mostly are a hay farm. We sell hay
Mhm.
to people who own horses and cows and that type of thing. So that's what we're really doing now is just the hay stuff.
That's
So
awesome. And that amount of garden for you guys, that would produce a lot of food. Do you guys then preserve it for, I guess, or you have a really long growing season, right?
yes,
So, yeah.
we do a lot of picking and eating. Because I mean, like last year, our okra, I don't know how many times it just kept reproducing. The more you pick it, the more it grows. One of those kind of deals.
Yeah.
And we gave a lot of food away to our neighbors and people I go to church with, that type of stuff. So we give away a lot as
Hmm.
well. We do preserve it. Canning, dehydrating, that type of stuff. Absolutely.
Oh, that's neat. And it looks like there's a lot of people in here, including some new people. I'm definitely aware of Native Voices channel. He's saying hi to you. He's here, and
Okay.
it's great to see you stop by this chat, Native. It's good to see you. Jason is here. Rapture Ready. Looks like a never-ending cup of coffee. This is tea, but up in the corner there, we have the design by Creative
Apple
Redundancy,
juice.
which apple juice. That's awesome. The design up in the corner is the Infinity Coffee. It's the never ending coffee designed by Creative Redundancy that he's letting me use for this channel. So very fun.
We are
um,
the
yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
So, the main topic here, I was wanting to ask you about the food supply because I know you guys produce food. You're in the States, you're seeing lots of stuff. You're a preparedness channel that's kind of on the pulse of all these things. I wanted to ask you, the food prices in your area, do you still buy a fair amount of food, or do you produce so much you don't need to buy much?
No, we don't. No, we still have to buy.
Hmm.
I mean, a lot of staples, and I still buy eggs because I don't like the. I mean, we have Dad has chickens, and I just don't care for the fresh eggs. Yeah, I
Hmm.
know. I'm here, but I was raised on store bought eggs. Go figure. So I still buy eggs and that type of thing. But as far as shortages here, not really seen much in the way of shortages, but in the way of prices going through the roof, yes, we have seen a lot of that. And the
Yeah.
packages getting smaller, yes.
Yeah, that's really sneaky with that shrinkflation, isn't it? How the
Yeah,
packages. Yeah.
yeah. And at first it was like the package would get smaller, but the price would stay the same.
Hmm.
Now they don't care. It's
Yeah.
the price is going up and the package is going down, and you're getting littler and littler amounts. Smaller amounts. Sorry. My
Yeah.
improper Southern grammar.
That's awesome. Is there anything you've just stopped buying because it's gotten so expensive? I mean, I know we have. There's certain things that we just don't bother with anymore.
Uh, There is something I have quit buying. I can't put my
Yeah.
finger on what it
Yeah.
is right now. But yes, definitely changed a lot of brands to some generic brands because
Hmm.
I was raised on certain brands. I'm sure just like anybody else was, you know.
Yep.
We have local dairies and stuff that I've quit buying from because I just can't afford it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
We've definitely streamlined to just more the main items, and those more unique items we don't really do. Hey,
right.
Jean. Jean sent a super sticker of a dancing pair. Thank you so much, Jean. It's very
Awesome.
appreciated. Thanks for supporting the channel. You didn't have to do that, but thank you for uh, the donation. Prepping by Faith. Awesome to see you. I just got a notification for another video. If you guys haven't seen today's video by Prepping by Faith, definitely check that out.
She's
Do
been putting
you?
out some good ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely a consistent updates on what's going on a day-to-day basis. A really good current events channel, well, and all sorts of other topics, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you were on her channel. Were you not for a panel or something?
I don't
No,
think so.
no,
I don't think I
no.
was.
Okay, sorry,
I've been
sorry.
on I've been on some, but I don't think I've been on hers. Not yet.
Yeah,
You know,
maybe it's or maybe you're. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's meant to be. Um,
I was on Angry Prepper one time. That's been a long time ago.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's I did see that actually. I did see that you on his channel. So. Do you have concerns, like if you're finding that prices are going up, but the supply is okay? Do you have concerns in your area for the food supply, or are you guys holding okay then in your local stores?
We're holding okay, but yes, I definitely have concerns. Definitely. Uh, I'm basically I, I don't shop but once a month, so
Yep.
I don't never know what I'm going to see from one month to another. So definitely, I always stay concerned about what they're going to have, what's sold out, whatever,
Hmm.
because there could be something I need at the end of this month, and if it's all gone, then we're going to be riding around looking at other stores, I guess.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. So, amidst all that's going on, are there any particular concerns that you have at the moment? For example, this WW3 collapse of the financial system, more natural disasters, a little bit of everything. Like, what are you thinking these days in those
D,
terms?
D, all the above. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
D, all the above. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I definitely have concerns about our president.
mhm.
Whatever he's doing, I have no idea. But anyhow, I'm trying not
Yeah.
to go there. But yeah, we definitely have concerns about that. These whatever's floating around the sky up here. Yeah, we have concerns about all of that, absolutely, and staying abreast of what's going on as best we can. So yeah.
Does it, do those concerns, have they ramped up in the last year or two, or were you always kind of that concerned about those things?
I have not ramped up. I mean, obviously it ramped up a little bit since the U nation since that
Yeah.
happened. It ramped up some.
Yeah.
But I mean, in my state of thinking is I'm doing everything I can do. If it's meant for me to live, I'll live, and if it's meant for me to go, I'll go.
Yep.
Uh, when God says it's time, it's gonna be my
Hmm.
time regardless. But I know that I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing to help that situation. So
Yes. And yeah. And so these recent things, yeah, have they changed the way you prep at all? I mean, it sounds like you've grown up in, yeah, yeah,
nope,
yeah.
nope, haven't changed a thing.
That's cool. That's really cool because it's sort of a lifestyle, and whatever comes at a person, well, you just keep going, right?
Yeah, I mean, I've been handling firearms since I'm 7 years old, so
Hmm.
we've got all the things.
Yep.
Everything's, we could always use more, of course,
Yeah.
but we're pretty good.
I did see a recent short of yours where you were doing some shooting. Yeah, that was cool. And Native Voice here is saying, I enjoy Farmer's Son prepping vids on his personal preps and philosophy on why he buys what he does, and his memes are awesome.
Thank you, Native. Hey, I'm second class to you on the memes, but I appreciate it. Uh, you don't comment a lot, and I get that. I know you're a busy guy, but it makes me feel good to know that y'all are watching. Yeah, because there's been times when I think, I'm subbed to all these people. I don't think any of these people watch my channel, but whatever.
Well, I watch your channel, which is why I was hoping you would join me today. This sounds like a dog ate my homework thing, but I always listen to videos when I'm out walking the dog in these northern Canadian temperatures. So I always have my
Yeah,
phone in my pocket, so I'll be listening away and not commenting. Or a video,
I do
you
the
listen to the
same
whole
thing.
video.
I,
Yeah,
I do the same thing. I'll be cooking breakfast and listening to Prepper Nation in the morning or whatever.
yeah.
I may not be in there commenting, but I'm listening to what's going on and who's saying what. So yeah, I do the same thing. I think we all do to some degree.
Yeah, especially because if I pull it out and start typing my phone gets really cold.
Yeah.
And on that note, if there is anybody here who's not engaging in the chat, hello to you as well, and thank you for being here. Thank you for
Hello.
joining us.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, and on that note too, I know that Farmers Prepping is also on Instagram. So I know there's some people in here like Sassy Gal is over on Instagram. So there's an Arc Wild Man is on Instagram too. So it's a way for people to link up as well.
Yes. Before I had my community tab, I was using that Instagram account, as a way to post pictures and show people things. And because the community tab is an awesome tool. I can share pictures with my subscribers, and for a long time I couldn't do that, and I was using Instagram for that to share
Hmm.
pictures with folks. Like things we're doing today or whatever.
Yeah, and a meme or two, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah, gonna have a meeting. Absolutely.
yeah, I've definitely seen you share a meme or two. Hey, Oki-Kon.
Hi, okay,
Um,
Con.
Oh, Native Voice says, I always give a thumbs up, brother, even if I don't comment.
I
Mm-hmm.
appreciate that. I
Yep.
appreciate that.
X24 Reviews is wondering, I have missed it, but where is FSP located? I'll let you answer that, FSP.
Okay, I'm in East Central Alabama, about 3 hours drive from the coast down here. From the coast of Florida and Alabama and all that down there. So we're about 3 or 4 hours away from the coast, East Central Alabama. That's where I'm located.
Mm, right on. Hi, Vanessa Kitty. Good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. So, what are some of the most important preps, in your opinion, in your area for you and your family? What do you think?
I would have to say, oh, I'm ready for this one. This is a good one. Definitely water. Water, ways to purify water, ways to store water. Water is number one in my book. Without it, you won't make it. Without clean drinking water, I mean, I've got filters stacked. I've got extra filters for my Berkey stacked. I've got Sawyer minis and Sawyer squeezes that are never been taken out of the package. They're just put up. I believe having some sort of way to filter your water, knowing how to build a water filter out of a couple of buckets or something, that is the most important prep. Because without it, you're not going to make it past 3 days.
Yeah. And well, it's funny because the next thing I was going to ask you was how do you prep water? Do you have a video about building one of those filters?
I do. I don't actually build one in the video, but I show you how to do it.
Yep.
Basically, you build a tripod out of sticks. Get you 3 or 4 bandanas. You basically you want 3 or 4 levels on your tripod. In the first one, you're going to put grass and leaves or stuff like that. Second one, you're going to put like gravel. Second one, or the third one, you're going to put like sand, and then like put put charcoal in there first, and then sand on top of that. So, and that'll get you to the point where it's clear. It's clear enough to drink. You might want to boil it after that.
And do you use any sort of chemical things like Aquatabs, or do you stock those as well?
Stock. Yes, I have Aquatab stocked. I have bleach tablets stocked. I have, of course, regular liquid bleach. Use that every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, absolutely.
Hey, since Uncle Al is here and Prepping by Faith and Sassy Gal, I have to ask you this question. So, if you are sitting next to a pool and that was the only water available, would you take all of your preps of your filters and your chemicals and everything and try to do something to it so you could drink it, or would you roll over and succumb to dehydration?
I'm not going to roll over. I can tell you that. It's not how you survive. I would be trying something.
Yeah.
I would be stacking up 5-gallon buckets, maybe 10, and run it through enough sand and through enough charcoal. At some point in time, you're going to get something that's drinkable. Yeah, definitely. I would do that.
The chat is saying don't ask that. It's a very controversial question. It's there's been videos, I don't know if you've ever seen it, of people saying they would try, or some saying, well, it's not going to work anyway, so don't try. And it's like ramen. It's controversial.
Can't, never could.
Yeah. Oh boy. Okay. So I know you mentioned you were doing something to do with your water preps today. Would you mind sharing what that was?
Yeah, I was doing it yesterday because it was sunny yesterday. It's been raining all day today. But yeah, just cleaning out. It's my once a year water storage clean out, and it took me like 8 hours to get it all done. PVC tote. I have a lot of those water bricks. I got a bunch of those. I've got a couple of rain barrels. So, scrubbing all those out. Of course, you have to get the water out first. That's a job. Yeah, but then cleaning them all up and getting them ready for water again. So, just making sure that we change it out, keep it fresh, keep it clean. Absolutely.
So you mentioned you do that once. Did you say once a year?
Yes.
Nice.
According to the research, and this is why I do it only once a year. According to the research, even though I'm out here in the sticks, we're actually on city water. They've run a line way out here for us country folks. So city water, if you just store city water, it already has some chlorine in it. It's already been treated. And from the research I've done, there's enough chlorine in city water to last at least a year. And you can add to that if you feel like you need to. Of course, you can add more drops in the dropper or whatever. But once a year, that's the way I do it. And that's from the research that I've put in. That's just city water. It's got chlorine already in it, and the fluoride and all that stuff anyway. So, yeah.
That's a really good reminder for anyone who's kind of feeling prepared and to do that water cycling if they haven't already.
Yeah.
Okay, so Prepping by Faith and Prepper Dog, hi Prepper Dog, come to mind when I think about some people were talking about those gallon jugs that people buy at Walmart failing and getting everything wet. I'm very sorry if I mentioned the wrong people part of that conversation, but I remember somebody discussing that sometimes people will buy all those gallon jugs and then eventually the plastic, they don't hold up with time. Have you heard anything like that?
I've had some instances with like some regular milk jugs. They're not built all that. I've had some issues because I've got a German Shepherd in here, and Once in a while with smell, he knocks stuff over, you know. So I've had some instances where those didn't work out, and I don't store water in those anymore. I use
Hmm.
the apple juice jugs. You know, the juice jugs are just built like a tank, and
Yeah.
so I reuse and clean out a lot of the juice jugs. But you know, any kind of material, whether it's plastic or whatever, it's going to degrade over time. So you know, it's bound to happen here and there.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I know because I used to do quite a bit of river rafting on the Colorado River through the Grand Canyon, and people would always use juice jugs as their water jugs because
Yes.
they were so good that
They were, so, yeah, juice
yeah,
jugs. I don't know, man. I don't know what they're built like a tank, dude. They are. You can drop one and it's nothing. It's be all right.
yeah, yeah, and I mean it's kind of the desert in there, so people would just count on those juice jugs working. Oki Khan is saying Tropicana jugs are thick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um, Tropicana jugs, the Great Value apple juice, which is what I drink. It's, I mean, they're built like a tank.
cool. And so forgetting water, you did mention you guys do get some rain there. So if you
Yes.
needed to, do you have water collection for the rain?
Yes, I have two rain barrels. And so we do collect marine water, but we also have, we've got three different lakes, and a creek. So we
Oh,
got some water sources. We have three catfish ponds, and because we do the pond raised catfish, that's another food source. So we do those. We have three ponds of those. The biggest pond is probably, I want to say probably 9 or 10 acres. It's a pretty good sized lake. Okay, and then away from the ponds, we have a creek running the border of our property on the backside. So
wow.
we got some. Yeah,
Oh,
to go
that's
get
really
some.
awesome.
Yes, we're very blessed in the water department. Absolutely.
Oh, that's super cool. So because that made me also think of Mosaic Master One, which is an awesome channel. If anyone hasn't seen that channel, he's linked in my suggested channels tab on our page because he's been posting videos of building chicken bunkers where his chicken bunker would be more where his chickens live would be better than most people's house just in the
Yeah.
techniques he's used to build it. But I know he preps tilapia because he's in Puerto
Yes.
Rico.
A lot of that happens. We have neighbors that have tilapia ponds.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
My
So,
dad's got the Fort Knox of chicken coops as well. His is, I mean, uh, but he free ranges his chickens, so he has a lot of hawk problems and eagle. We've got a bald eagle that's nesting here somewhere. So he's loose. He's lost a lot of chickens, but it's because he lets them out during the daytime.
oh,
So.
yeah, I guess
I
that would
told him,
happen.
I said, me and you've built the Fort Knox of chicken pens, but it's got a flaw. You leave the door open, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, just Josh, good to see you.
Just Josh. Excellent live, brother. Was over there a while ago. Excellent. Over there with a hutch.
Thanks for stopping in. And so how about food? What are some ways that you prep food other than
Okay.
growing it, a ton of it?
Yes, we grow and preserve a good bit, but also I believe in stocking up canned goods. I don't go by Best By dates, and I know how I'm storing my food, which is a big thing. Now, if I had something that was 3 years out of date or whatever, I probably wouldn't eat it if I didn't know how it's
Yeah.
stored. But I know mine's being stored, so we do canned good. I have freeze dried food here, Nutrient Survival Mountain House.
Oh,
Um, so I do a good bit of that as well. So you can't just do all of one thing. How do you say it? I've diversified my portfolio.
that's awesome.
Right.
Well, it's interesting to hear because some people are not as interested in the freeze dried and some are. So it's just neat to hear the different perspective. Do you have a favorite brand of freeze dried? And this is not, I'm not trying to, this isn't a sales thing. I'm just wondering if you have one.
Uh, I have. I'll give you my top three, and that's Augustin Farms,
Yeah.
Nutrient Survival, and Mountain House. Those are the three main ones I stack. I do have some Ready Hour, but I don't have a whole lot of it, but I do have some of that as well.
Yeah. That's cool. So, and when you do your canned goods, are you doing things like canned tomatoes, canned beans, like what fish or meat?
Yes, a lot of canned meat. So they're trying to get us on bugs and all that. So I do a lot of canned meat. Peanut butter. I love peanut butter. Apparently everybody
Hmm.
else is allergic to peanut butter, but I love peanut butter, so I start playing that. Uh, Canned corn. The Great Value pulled pork. Uh, Salmon soups.
Yeah.
You name it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And do you find them at is there a particular big box store that you like to go for that stuff? Like, do you guys have Costco's around there?
We do, but they're a long way from where I'm at.
Oh yeah.
With me not being able to drive and have my own
Oh,
car and go where I want to, I don't really get a chance to go to big
yeah.
box stores.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's different. Sometimes the smaller stores can have a better price too. It just really depends, and that's why I like all these American channels. The Sassy Gal's always talking about these stores we don't have, and I was like, oh, we should do an exchange. I should send some
yeah.
stuff down there, and
We've got a couple of mom and pop stores that I really like. They're not exactly the cheapest, but when you need like a can of cream of chicken soup or something for a recipe, and you can run up there and grab it, it's convenient. It's close to home. So we got a couple of mom and pops that are really good. We got the Piggly Wigglies and
hmm.
trying to think what all else. All the we used to have the Winn Dixies and the Food Worlds, but they're all gone. They shut down, I think. So, but anyhow, basically it's Walmart or Tractor Supply Co. That's what we have in our neighborhood, and DGs. We got plenty of those.
Cool. That's cool. I've just never been to that area, so it's very fascinating to me. It looks like Uncle Al has a question for you, if that's all right. It's what is your evacuation plan for chemical spills?
I have a bug out bag hanging up there by the
Yeah.
front door. And me and my dogs will get in somebody's car when they pull up here, and we will get. That is my plan.
Yeah.
Uh, you know, After that, I don't know how long it would be, because you don't know none of that up front. But I do have a bag. It has an IFAC on it. Uh, I probably have to grab my meds on the way out, that
Mm-hmm.
type of thing, and get the dogs and load up. And
Yep.
after that, come what may.
Yeah.
But like what's happened in Ohio, that's exactly why I have a bug out bag. And
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm a bunker in guy, but you have to plan for both because you don't ever know what's going to be driving you out of your house. This is perfect instance. The derailment.
It's absolutely true, for sure. And or something like up where we are, a wildfire would be another example where you just gotta go, and it, it is situational. Because yeah, of course you hear these. Some people want to just stay, some people just want to go, and it
Yeah,
varies definitely.
when I first started prepping many, many years ago, I was, before I had injured my leg, I've got a bum leg as well. I broke both bones in my leg 2 years ago. So, so now I'm kind of like a wobbling guy. Uh, so originally I was like, I'm gonna go and live in the woods and do the hunting and the fishing because I can do all that. But I'm a bunker in guy.
Yeah.
Unless something happens and I have to go somewhere, but I'm prepared for that as well. So yeah.
Well, and it sounds like you guys have a lot around you as well, like lots of good water and
Yes, we have
space and
plenty
stuff.
of good water. Yeah, we've probably got probably 12 or 13 acres that are wooded, but most
Hmm.
of it's open farmland. but we do have probably 13 or 14 acres that's wooded right now, but because it's in a swamp, basically, can't
Mm.
nobody get to cut it. So yeah, it stays wet a lot down in that area.
Hmm. Cool. So my mother Spark has a question for you.
Okay.
If that's all right. It's what is the one skill you think everyone should learn if they could only learn one, I would imagine, new skill?
Only one skill. Uh, Learn how to start a fire. Uh, that's the basic survival. That's going to be after water. That's going to be probably number two. Food be number three, something like that. If you can't start a fire, you may not make it. Especially in cold weather, like up there where you are, being able to warm yourself up is a vital thing. If you're outdoors, you can't just stay outside without a fire up there. Not
Hmm.
this time of year, I would imagine. So, if I could say there was one skill you need to learn, if you're going to try one new thing, firecraft would be it. And learn how to build a fire in any weather condition. Go out there and try to build one while it's raining. You'll see how hard it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good that's a really good point. And of course we all thought of Ark Wildman survival, right? I mean, how
Oh,
could we not like and then in the chat he says someone say fire.
yeah.
Yeah, even Prepper Dog says Ark Wildman territory with fire. Well, there have been all those videos so many people have participated in to just show their fire making skills.
Yeah.
Tons
I've
of
got a couple of
channels.
fire making videos. I mean, I've got a
Hmm.
couple of videos where I've got one that I started a fire with a magnifying glass. So that's
Mm.
pretty cool. So making char cloth. I mean, there's a lot that goes with it. Flint steel. I've got one of those. I'm not real good with it, but I've got one. If it comes down
Hmm.
to it, that's all I got. I can do something with that. So, but having char cloth really helps your. If you're going to have to start a fire with a spark, you really need some char cloth for that. So
Well, my mother's spark is full of the questions, which is very helpful.
yeah.
She's also wondering, how do you build a fire without anyone else seeing the smoke?
Um, there's a couple things you can do. You can do what's called a Dakota fire hole, where you dig two holes in the ground. One of them's going to be about a foot wide. The other one's going to be about 6 or 8 inches wide, and you connect them underground via a tunnel. You can do the Dakota fire hole, create a tunnel. That way, it's not a no smoke fire, but it's a very low smoke fire, especially once you get your fire established. Once you get an established fire, established bed of coals, it doesn't smoke any at all. Basically, any fire is going to smoke when you start a fire because you're using, chemicals or fat wood or whatever. All that stuff's going to smoke. Once you get your bed of coals, established, it's going to be pretty smoke free in a Dakota fire hole. That's the only way I know of to do one without smoke. I've heard you could there's stories about the Native Americans using hollow trees, but still, I mean, once it comes out of the tree, you're going to see, the smoke anyway.
Hmm. And yeah, that sounds like somewhere along the lines of what Penny Pinching Prepper is saying, location, location, and a Dakota fire pit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, and yeah, sometimes I know what you're saying, my mother spark. Sometimes it's nice to present a question so that people can learn, even if you have
Absolutely.
built one that way before. Sugar in the Attic Homestead, great to see you. Thanks for stopping by, as well as hello, Tofu. Good to see you guys. So, do you actually eat much of your freeze-dried food, or do you keep it for a longer term storage?
I have some that I put, like if I'm going to go out and be in the woods and do some bushcrafting or some camping or whatever,
Yep.
I'll eat some. I've got a lot of the mountain house, and I've got some of the nutrient survival little packs.
Yep.
Some, but not. I try to save that until because it's got a 30-year shelf life. So why eat it now? Save it
Yep.
for when I'm going to need it.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. That makes sense. Oh, Groovy Pop Tart is here. Hey,
What's up,
y'all, she
Ruby Pop
says.
Tart?
Yeah.
Ah,
I'm also known as Navigating the Nonsense and previously known as Apartment Prepper. So good to see you.
okay.
Um, yeah, so because I did some solo hike or some solo camping in the summer and I just put a few short videos up because I was mostly just trying to do the camping, but I did use some of the meals for that just because it was easier and I could focus my time on other stuff and I was using Peak Refuel. I am not
Oh, those
affiliated.
are good. Those are
But
good. Yeah.
they're sure good. They're impressive meals.
Mhm.
They taste just like somebody made them, and some of the flavors are really interesting. So definitely like that. Um,
I
yeah,
would suggest nobody buys any freeze dried food unless you've tried it. I mean, don't
yeah,
buy it unless you know what you're getting.
yeah.
If you're buying stuff and putting it away and you've never tasted it, I'd open a can and taste it right now. Otherwise, you may be doing something. You may be
Hmm.
starting something that you're not going to like. You know, start what you like.
Totally, totally true. Which is why I like to do the survival living method of pasta and sauce, spaghetti and sauce,
Yeah.
because most people like that. Hello Tofu has a question. What strange or unusual skill has surprised you with how useful it
Hmm. Strange and unusual skills. I don't know
is?
that I. Well, I'm a ham radio operator, so back in the day when I got my license, we all had to learn Morse code. So that's yes, a kind of a strange skill, but uh, it takes a while. It's hard to learn, very very hard to learn. You'll be wanting to smash your head against the wall after listening to those stuff for a while. But how's it surprised me? It surprises me in how you can use Morse code with a flashlight. You can use it with all kind of stuff. It's not just Morse code on a radio. You can use it as a flashlight. You can use it, and it's a very versatile. It's the original digital language, apparently.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's pretty cool.
that is very cool. That is awesome. Um, that would just be so great to know. That's really cool that you have that. And Prepper Dog says making moonshine would be a good skill in SHTF.
Oh, we've got that covered. We've got family members down here that are in the biz. Put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean it can be done. I used to work some places that were dry areas, like they weren't allowed any alcohol, and people would find ways to make their own. I wasn't one of them, but people would
Oh yeah,
find
you look at
ways.
prohibition. I mean, there
Yeah,
was more drinking done in those 10 years than there was any other time in the world. Probably.
yeah.
You tell somebody they can't have it, what are they gonna do? I mean, you know.
So would you guys ever have a reason to grow food indoors, like in a hydroponic system or under a grow light or in a window or anything?
Ah, it's a possibility. I mean, nobody knows what the future holds. I know
Yep,
we have pretty good security here
yep.
on the farm. We've got really good neighbors that's been here since I was a kid riding the bus. So we've got people to look out for us. But that is one of the downfalls about having been on such a huge piece of land is it takes a lot of game cams or it takes a lot of cameras to cover all that. So. Uh,
Hmm.
I mean, if we had to start growing stuff inside to keep people from ripping it off, I could see that possibly happening,
Hmm.
at some point in time. But we just, I don't know.
No, it's just I just find it fascinating because we kind of have to if you want to have fresh stuff at this time of year. Um, but you guys get so much sun compared to us that you could have, things at the window if you wanted to, and we can't. So, but I just find the contrast quite interesting.
My sister
Um,
grows, what is it? She's got some herbs that she grows inside, and
yeah.
The reason why she grows them basically is she's got these bearded dragons. She's got some bearded dragons that are her pets, and
Hmm.
so they have to eat stuff like salad or lettuce or cilantro, that type of stuff. So she grows a lot of that stuff in her house.
Oh, that's
Uh,
really that's cool. That's cool.
so yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, fascinating. So, I guess, it's getting late here, so we'll probably wrap up soon. But I was just wondering, are there any last things you want to mention to anyone who's listening or anyone who's new to preparedness that's listening?
Don't get frustrated. Do a little at a time. Okay. 2 extra canned goods every time you go to the store. You don't have to go to the store and get the looks and buy a whole box of something. Uh, do it little at a time. That's how I've had to do it, and it pays off in the end. If you buy 2 extra canned goods or 2 extra whatever it is you think you need, every time you go to the store, it builds up quick. So don't lose patience. Just do a little bit at a time. Even if you've just started yesterday, I would give that advice to anybody.
That's a good one. And question, I'm sort of interrupting your final words here, but when you buy those cans, do you look at the date when you're buying them? Their
Yes,
expiry date? Yeah. Yeah.
yes. Well, the best buy date, yeah. I try to get the farthest ones out that I can. And I've
Hmm.
worked at Walmart before. I know how they stock. So go all the way to the back. That's where the freshest stuff's at. They front everything up. They put the things that are about to go out of date. They put those on the very front of the shelf. So go back behind there and
Yeah.
get something. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of the people aren't necessarily trying to stock for long term anyways. They're buying it to take it home and eat it, so
Right.
I don't necessarily feel too bad leaving them the more recent one.
Don't feel
Yeah.
bad at all. I mean,
Yeah.
you're either going to take care of yourself and your family, or you're going to do without. It's pretty simple in my mind. I don't feel bad about leaving empty shelves. Not at all.
Yep. 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 Well, and I've seen videos about that. I know Survival Living has had a couple things to say about that, and they were wise words.
I agree with him. I like him. Another great channel as well. So yeah, get what you got to get. And let them scrap over the rest of it.
Yeah.
When it comes down to panic time and they're all in there, like the whole toilet paper fiasco. When it's panic buying time, my shelves are stocked. They can fight over what's left.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. And if people are doing a few cans at a time, like you mentioned, they're not gonna need to, usually clear out something anyway because they've already got a base. Um, Speaking of toilet paper, Ark said that there are plenty of leaves in the spring. So I don't know if there's been a video where he talks about that yet. So
Just know which leaves you're using. Oh, well, man, you might cause yourself some problems in the nether region down there if you use those three kind. Just make
yeah.
sure it ain't poison oak or sumac or whatever. Yeah.
So my mother Spark says to thank you to you for sharing your knowledge, and that's another thing I want to get my mother Spark on one time. Our schedules don't work at the moment, but soon it would be great.
No problem. My mother Spark anytime. And we have a family over at my channel, and if you've been there twice in one week, you're family, and you can ask whenever you will. And a lot of my channel members have my phone number. We talk offline, so uh, there's good people in this
Mhm.
community. You just got to have faith in them, and yeah, I don't mind sharing if I. But I'm the same way though. If I don't know, I'll point you to somebody who does, or
Mhm.
I'll try, because I don't know everything. But
Mhm.
if I don't know nothing about it, I'll just tell you I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and put your life in jeopardy because I want act like I know it all. You know,
Mhm.
I'm not that. So.
Yeah, well, that's a good point, and that's why it's so great. There's so many people from different regions because the other experience will fill in the gaps, certain topics.
Yeah. And
Hey, oh,
I always learn more. Like my people in my chat teach me a lot of stuff. We've got some people that are in my chats all the time who are rescue squad people, medics, and so they're teaching me stuff all the time. So it goes
yeah,
both ways. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's great. Well, I do want to thank you again for your time. Keep those great videos coming for us to check out. Anyone who hasn't subscribed to Farmer Son Prepping, definitely check in the description box. And also, I see Prepping by Faith has just dropped the link as well. Go on over there to that channel. You will not be disappointed. Thanks for everybody who's taken a bit of time out of your evening to join us in the chat. I will definitely be going back and reading it in more detail later because there's a lot to learn from you guys. Thanks to the mods for popping in and helping out. I haven't done a live in so long. I'm surprised that you guys are still subscribed. So thanks. Yeah, okay. Um oh, and my mother Spark says that she's subbed, so she'll check it out.
Awesome.
Cool. Okay, well, thanks again and see ya on the next one.
Okay. Bye, y'all.
Bye.